Welcome to High Anxiety. This is Brandon. Today, we are opening Donatello as the Invisible Man. This is a really nice treat. It's really weird that there's hair growing out of his face, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know. But here's the initial look at our guy here. I don't want to call out too much because there's some really cool features that you just are going to have to see in person. I kind of wish that I wasn't spoiled, but that's where we are. So let's open this baby up. So if you are not aware, this has been a collaboration been going on since the 80s, probably 90s. But Playmates, Ninja Turtles, and Universal Monsters made a whole bunch of figures, and it was awesome. So this is kind of just like a tribute to it, even though we are not recreating figures. They're all brand new styles and characters and things like that. Not new characters, but they're different variations, different pairings. Frankenstein, I think it was Leonardo, and they're Playmates figures, and it's... No, wait, it's Michelangelo. It was Michelangelo, and then it's Raphael here, but there was no invisible turtle, or invisible man. But here we have Invisible Man, and it's a nice little backdrop. I'm not going to keep it, but it is a nice touch. Okay, so we're here. There's a lot of hands, which is really interesting. A lot of hands. I know why there's... I don't know. I don't know the answer to what I'm going to say, but... Let's just look at some hands right now. So here we have some just cool posed hands, like a loose grip, and then we have hands out. Here we have a looser grip. We also have another tight grip, another kind of mid-tier grip, and then a pointer finger. Here's where the really cool stuff kicks in, and I kind of wish there were a few gloved hands and the rest were not gloved, and that's because we have our invisible hands, and that's just freaking cool. It's funny how it is clearly a different plastic. It's not like a rubbery plastic, it's hard plastic, so it's just kind of interesting. There's probably no... There's some give on this. I'm surprised by that. We also have new feet, which is weird because there are already invisible feet on there. So we're going to look at that in a minute and see what's going on, why they have 2 feet, 2 pairs of feet. It's kind of a unavoidable thing, but it's kind of cool. You can see the peg in there. That's kind of really neat. You can see the gears and stuff. So that's whatever. It's a cool touch. I mean, it's a cool thing. It's not really a touch. So we have our hat, we have a microscope. This is a cool touch. We have a book, but it has TGRI on it. So this is... TGRI was only in the movie Secret of the Ooze. It was not TCRI like it is supposed to be. They changed it to the G for global instead of the C for cosmic. But this basically just tells you that this is kind of the movie line, which is very interesting. The only ties to the movie line of figures is that one, they're to scale to those figures, but two, Splinter is exactly Splinter, and April is Judith Hogue from the first movies. So I don't know why they went that route. I kind of wish it was its own thing, but that's where we are. Comes the bow staff. It's definitely a new sculpt. And then let's get down to the turtle itself. So this head is really cool, but I don't really understand why there's hair. I understand like I understand they want to recreate the figure, but this is too much for me. I don't like that there's hair coming out of it. He doesn't have hair. I just stabbed myself with a knife. But here is our invisible turtle. and you can see he has the wrappings over his face because he is invisible. He does have feet. Okay, so I see why now. So these are half wrapped. So they're half mostly wrapped, and the toes are see-through. This is a nice touch. The coat, the shell is over the coat, and what's really cool about this is that there is pizza in the back of the shell, and that's just a super cool detail, and I absolutely adore it. I'm not gonna try to, but the shell looks like it just could come off if the belt could come off. You can see the pieces just kind of glued to it. Movability is good right off the bat, nothing too tight. It does have the movie ties, so you would tie in the bow staff here. Now, this is definitely one of the coolest of the Monster Line figures, but someone in the TMNT Party Wagon Facebook group posted that he makes something really cool for this figure, and I could not resist it. So before I do anything, I do want to put the straight up see-through feet on. It's so weird taking feet off. It's interesting. There's 1, 2. Get rid of those bandages. Alright, so now we just have straight up invisible feet. And I do want to put the invisible hands on with the grip. Now, the reason that I brought up the TMNT Party Wagon, not just because you should join if you're a Turtles fan, but I had someone post on the page that he was casting some invisible items, and too cool not to. So his name's Martin Pruett. If you want to find him in the TMNT Facebook group and ask him to make you some of these, I think he'd be happy to. It's a fair price, 25 bucks, and it gets you 2 heads. I don't know much about it. It looks like one's smaller, so maybe it's kind of like one's more proportionate to this and one's more proportionate to like the body. I don't know. But there is some like mummy wrappings on the head, but it's see-through, and I just think that's so cool. I haven't played with it yet, putting it in here. I'm going to do that before we wrap up. It's definitely a little different than like the peg system, so it's got like little bendable, givable hooks. But yeah, this is just super cool. I love this, and I would have paid enough for this alone. But why not have some see-through bow staffs? So freaking cool. So freaking cool. So let's do this. Let's do this. That's awesome, man. Martin, this is fantastic, and I don't want to display him with the normal one. This is so freaking cool. This is so freaking cool. Good job, man. I want to learn how to do this a little better. I kind of do, but I don't know how to do it with clear, and I experimented one time. It didn't go too well, but I would like to really get into casting, and that just looks awesome. But yeah, so he looks like there's 3 in here, and it's just awesome. Like, that's just super cool. I'm gonna put one in his ties back here. But yeah, so the figure itself is amazing. It does feel like a missed opportunity that they did not do the clear weapons themselves. But when these things happen, this is when the people that get creative and they get to make some money. So I'm not mad, because some people that are talented and just lets them have kind of like a little spotlight here and there. So I'm here for it. So but yeah, so you can tie in the belt back there. the bow back there, and there's the Invisible Man. Before we go, I do want to... oh, I want to change the head too. Let's see how this comes out. Okay, so the peg's there. I don't really want to mess with the peg right now, but oh, look at that. Just kind of move the peg back and it just fits in there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I feel like it's the head of like the Mummy Playmates figure, but it scales pretty well with this. I like that a lot. It looks great. Great job, Martin. That looks awesome. Let's put the other one in just for giggles. Might be the same thing. It just looks a little bigger though, but I don't know. You have to answer Martin in the comments. But yeah, this looks really great. And let's put on this one as well. So that one looks creepier, but I just don't get the hair. I just don't get the hair. I'm not opposed to taking it out. I don't know. But before we go, I do have the Invisible Man, just NECA horror figure. And it would be a shame not to do this together. So here is the Invisible Man. And I understand what they're going for. Like, I get it. His hair's sticking out here, but it doesn't sit well with me. It just doesn't. Now, something like a little fun fact, but the newer Invisible Man that came out with what's her name? I don't know. The girl from Handmaid's Tale. It's actually pretty good. It's a good like modern take on the Invisible Man, and I think it's worth watching. So check that out. It definitely doesn't fall into the MonsterVerse thing that they were gonna have with Tom Cruise and the Mummy, but it's good. It's pretty good. Is it like a classic? No, but it definitely is a nice update on the classic. Alright, so this Invisible Man, next to Donnie, definitely different styles on it. Like this one's a trench coat, this guy has just like a suit on. Definitely can see the similarities with the goggles. We'll put this one back on. This is the better head to me, I think. I do like the... I don't know, it's hard. It's very hard to pick one right now. But yeah, so... You have the two wraps with the masks, or the goggles. This is a fake nose that he puts on, so he looks like a person. Let's see, you have one where he's unraveling, which is very cool. And then you have this one. Very cool. Hopefully you can see that alright. The gloves are definitely not as impressive. So you have just the hands, I mean. So you have gloved hands. I think these are wrapped bandages hands. I don't know, I can't really tell. I forget. Here's his journal. Some loose goggles. A little concoction. And then this is hair, but I don't know. Is it just supposed to be like his a wig that he lays on the table? I think so, probably. There's probably pictures in the back of the box. None of the hair, interesting. Well, it just lays in the back tail back there. But they went a little different route, and you could do this, and he's invisible. It feels kind of cheap. I do like that they did like the see-through on this, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm really curious to see what this looks like on the head. So it just sits in there. It's interesting. Doesn't really click, it just kind of sits on there. And then same thing with this one. And this is what they were going for here with the turtle. Yeah, but anyway, very cool having these two side by side. So I have mostly Ninja Turtles figures. Over here, maybe I'll show it to you. But I have figures mostly turtles, but I do have one shelf that's horror, and it's because I have the horror Ninja Turtle figures, so I display them with their counterparts, and I also have just like a bunch of Pennywise and Michael Myers and things like that that will not be on there. But yeah, this is definitely a very cool figure. I'm impressed. I like both of the figures. I think this is, I just think it's a win. I think it's kind of lazy that they didn't really go with the clear plastic for the Invisible Man, the traditional Invisible Man. I want to find some way to make him hold this book. I don't know what to do. I would like him to have, maybe I'll like put some like putty in his hand or something to make him hold this. I think he needs to have this book held open. Like this. I think that looks good. Just have him like hold it. So I'll figure that out. I'll put some putty in there. And then, oh, here's a nose. I didn't see the nose. So there's the extra little nose that comes off. Very cool. Does it fit in here? It does not. I kind of wish it was attached to the goggles. But yeah, so anyway, great figure on both parts. I like them a lot. They both are different things. The original movie, a tribute to it with Ninja Turtles, and I just think that's amazing. So great job, NECA. Let me know what you think. Are you a purist? Do you like the crossover? Let me know what you think. Bye.